It was lovely to watch the exchange between you. Like, yes, so much went on, like in here and in your eyes. Yeah, just brilliant. Loved it. Like,
And
but like you could see the difference between. I mean, the first take was fine, but then as it went on, you're like, oh yeah, now I can see the story going on. It was just, yeah, really much richer.
on technical parts, it was Louise. It was the same as speaking from down here, rather than up here. Sort of
Mm.
gave them, grounded them more and slowed them down. And it was less frenetic in a way, and the place as well made it more intimate, and it allowed them both to talk to each other. And then because they were looking at each other, focusing on each other, they were able to notice subtle, really small little bits that had a subconscious impact on how they spoke to each other, moving, and it was just built and grows. And it was the same like with your scene before. Those, because you were noticing things, they weren't noticing, and in the conscious mind going, I think they're doing that, so I'm going to do this. It was all the rich stuff that happens in the back of their head is deep, and because there's no gap, there's no wall between the conscious and the subconscious in a way. It's just you believing that you're this character talking to another character. You believe it, and the circumstances, and you've got the place, which is the cocoon within which you're doing it. All of that's just flowing around and adding and building, and stuff is happening that you're not planning. So it's very interesting to watch. Normally I feel like I might have class where there's loads of notes and I stop and start a lot, but today didn't need that. It just needed sit back, look at each other, connect with each other, and talk to each other. Because the scripts have been, written with an arc in them. And I think that coming back to what happened with the naming, when I told you about that beat change, it really made a difference for me. I can't
Mhm.
remember, it's the last one or the penultimate one where you really softened after you said that. It just changed. You just changed the way you were. And it was interesting because I didn't when I read it once or twice. I didn't see that as a beat change, but I really felt it, and I felt it more because you weren't observing it until
Mhm.
you did. It's very interesting.